thank you, for being an advocate for your son, an advocate for our community, and really having the strength to show that level of compassion. We certainly hope that while Mr. McClaine is serving his time, that he will reflect on the pain that he brought not only to the victim and the victim's family, but also to his own family, because he is a father, he's a husband, and he is a son. And so there are so many families that have been impacted by this tragedy. But today was about accountability. And Mr. McClaine was held accountable for his actions. He was given a 22-year sentence. And we hope, again, that he does become rehabilitated, that he becomes remorseful for the pain and hurt that he caused, and that he will never engage in criminal activities again. I will now ask Shauna Coleman, who was the ASA assigned to this case, to talk a little bit more about the facts of the case. I also wanted to thank Attorney Coleman for her excellent representation of our community on this case. When we try cases, it's not about us, it's about the people who we serve. And so the family of the decedent, I know, was very pleased with her representation. I, as the manager of this office, was just extremely pleased with her performance in this case. And clearly the jury was convinced beyond a reasonable doubt of Mr. McClaine's guilt. So I really want to personally thank her for her hard work on this case and many other cases that she tries in the homicide unit and in this office. So Shauna, I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Braveboy. Briefly, as Ms. Braveboy indicated, this offense occurred on November 4th in 2019. It happened at the Popeyes restaurant on Livingston Road in Oxon Hill. That night was a particularly busy night at the Popeyes. There was a release of a new chicken sandwich. The video surveillance that we recovered from the establishment showed a plethora of members of the community of all ages, little children, as well as adults, families waiting in line. And what struck me when you watched the video surveillance is that everybody, waiting in the Popeyes, yes, it was a long line, but everybody was in good spirits. The defendant, Mr. McClaine, arrived with his family, his wife, and 2 children. They got into the very long line that was in the establishment and waited. The video surveillance shows the decedent, Mr. Kevin Davis, showing up alone. He entered the establishment. He was talking with members in line. You can see him laughing and having conversations with other people in line. As the line approached the cashier, you could see that there was words exchanged between Mr. Davis and the defendant. At trial, it came out, it was over the fact that that Mr. Davis had jumped in line ahead of the defendant and his family, directly in front of them, actually, and that the defendant's family was upset about this. You see the defendant and Mr. Davis exiting the restaurant, and as they exit on the video, you see the defendant pull out a knife. As they step outside onto the sidewalk, the defendant immediately stabs Mr. Davis. The medical examiner examined Mr. Davis's body and revealed 1 stab wound to the left abdomen that was fatal. The defendant then went with his wife, gathered up his children, who the defendant had left inside while he was stabbing Mr. Davis, and then left. We were able to use the image of the defendant from the video surveillance to obtain his identity. The defendant was basically avoiding apprehension. I think he was on the run for 11 days and hiding. We ultimately were able to serve the arrest warrant that was issued on the 13th of November. So that's the highlight of the case, the basic facts. If you have any other questions about the facts, I'm here to answer questions.
Okay, so thank you. So do we have any questions? I don't think we do. And with that, that brings this press conference to a close. And I will be sending out a post press release immediately following. Thank you.